Welcome to this presentation on Reader View Mode for the Safari browser, found on both the Mac and the iPad. Reader View Mode is a built-in feature that is beneficial for students with visual impairments. It is important to say that many people with or without a visual impairment use this option regularly when reading web content. On the screen is a website from startsat8.com called 6 Ed Tech Blogs for Science-Loving Kids. As many websites, it contains the content with additional clutter. As we scroll through the site, there are links to advertisements, additional articles, video clips, and comments. This additional clutter is posted on the sides, in between the main content, and at the bottom of the site. Having to move through all of this clutter can be frustrating when completing work and research. Using Reader View Mode can clear the clutter on websites that support this feature. Reader View Mode is a built-in option in Safari, Firefox, and Edge. For Chrome, you can get a Reader View extension. To demonstrate the benefit of Reader View Mode for students, we will look at the same EdTech website. I will go to the address bar and on the left-hand side locate the set of stacked lines. If the stacked lines are not there on the website, then that particular website does not support Reader View Mode. Now we can click on the lines or use Command-Shift-R. Instantly, the website changes. As we scroll through the page, the previous ads and extra miscellaneous content is gone, and only the relevant information from the article remains. This alone is an amazing option. However, Safari Reader View Mode provides additional customization. To view the customization features, go back to the address bar, and on the right-hand side, there's a small capital A and a large capital A. When you click on the letters, a box opens. The top row allows you to set the size of the words on the screen. Tap on the large capital A to increase the font size, and tap on the small capital A to decrease the font size. The next row in the Reader View box are 4 circles. They allow some customization of contrast between the background and the foreground colors. The default is the first circle indicating a white background, but you can choose between beige with black letters and gray or black with white letters. The final feature of the Reader View box is to set the font style. The options are Atlas, Charter, Georgia, Iowan, Palatino, San Francisco, Saravec, and Times New Roman. Now I would like to show you the options to share the documents you find on a website. A student may want to use one or more of these options when reading assigned work or researching for a project or essay. Sometimes there may be a reason to save the article permanently to the hard drive of the computer using the Save command. You can choose to save it as a page source or as a web archive format. The page source saves the HTML version of the page. Web archive saves the text, images, and other content. Reader View Mode is not saved, but once the article is opened again, you can re-enter Reader View Mode. We do not always want to keep the articles we find on the web permanently on our computer, so there are a few ways to share the content. First, you would select the Share button, which is the square with an arrow pointing upward on the upper right-hand corner. You will notice a wide variety of places to share your document, such as social media, notes, or bookmarks. Share options I would like to highlight are Save to Email or Add to the Reading List. First, the email. This will copy and paste the article into the body of an email to send it to yourself or to another person. In my experience, sometimes Reader View Mode stays and sometimes formatting reverts back to the original formatting. This option can clutter up email and can be challenging to locate later, but a student may use this option if they want to quickly send the article to a teacher or peer to determine if it is appropriate or needed for the current task. Once that decision is made, the email can be deleted. The reading list is a nice way to keep an article available for review while using it for your assigned tasks. All you need to do is select the Share button at the top right-hand side of the screen, Add to Reading List. Then you need to go over to the top left and you would select on the Show Sidebar icon, which looks like a book. If you do not see your reading list there, your item, then you just select the eyeglasses icon and you'll see that it's been added to the reading list, the 6 Ed Tech blogs for science-loving kids. If you want to save these for offline reading, you can. You just need to right-click and then select Save Offline. Wanted to delete an item that you've already read and you no longer want it, you can right-click and then just select Remove the item, and then it'll be deleted from your reading list. You can save in other formats by using the print function. So you just go to File, Print. The bottom left of the dialog box, you'll notice that it has where it says PDF. You can choose Save as a PDF, or you can choose Add to iBooks. Both of these options will maintain the reader view mode if enabled prior to using the print command. And both will provide offline viewing, so no Wi-Fi is needed. Now let's look at the Safari Reader View on the iPad. Basically, it's exactly the same. It has the stacked lines to enter reader view option on the top left-hand corner of the address bar. And on the right-hand corner, it also has the customization features, where I can select that and it'll open up that menu, and I can increase or decrease the font size. I can change the contrast levels so that I can have beige with black or black with white letters. And I can also change the font style. In addition, on the iPad, I have an accessibility feature called Speak Screen. And what I can do is I can use 2 finger swipe down.
6 EdTech blogs for science-loving kids. Heidi, 0 comment. October 1st.
In order to set up Speak Screen, you need to go to your home menu, then tap on Settings, General, Accessibility, Speech, and then you would toggle Speak Screen on or off. I want to introduce you to a few quick ways to save web documents on the iPad that your students might find helpful. Prior to using each of these methods, remember to put the web page into Reader View first. The first one I want to show you is how to save to home screen. I've got my web page up that I'm going to look at, and I want to save for later. And so I'm going to select the Share button, which is the square with the arrow pointing up, and I will look through the options that are available, and I can find one that says Add to Home Screen. I select Add to Home Screen. If it doesn't have a name, I would name the article, but here it does have a name called 6 EdTech blogs for science-loving kids, and I'm going to add that to my home screen. Now you'll notice that that article is on my screen on my iPad. So what if I want more articles to review? I would tap on Safari, go to the next article, hit the Share button, find Add to Home Screen, check to see that it has a name, select Add. Now I've got 2 items on my home screen that I want to review later, but I want them in one folder. So I would press on one of the articles until it wiggles, slide those 2 together. Now I'm going to label this new folder. I'll label it Ed Tech, and I'll hit the Home button, and then I'm going to hit the Home button again. And now I've got a folder with articles that I would like to read at a later time. Keep in mind, this option does require Wi-Fi in order to review the articles. The next option is to save to a reading list. Make sure you put your article into Reader View mode. Select the Share button and search for Add to Reading List. Tap that icon, and in order to see the article that you just placed into the reading list, you would go to the top left-hand side of your screen and you're going to tap on the Open Book icon. If you don't notice your article or your reading list immediately, select the icon that has the picture of the eyeglasses. And now you see an article called 6 EdTech blogs for science-loving kids at the top of your reading list. This feature provides offline reading and no Wi-Fi is needed. To delete, you just swipe left and tap the Delete button. The last option I would like to show you is how to save to iBooks. You're going to select the Share button, tap Save PDF to iBooks. Now the document will be available for offline reading in your iBooks folder. You will also have the options is to add notes to your reading document. To do that, you can create markups by selecting the icon on the top right-hand side, which is a circle with a tip of a pen inside. I would tap on that icon, select highlighter, select the color that I want to use. Say it's yellow. So I've highlighted these subjects are biology, earth sciences, environment, energy, nature, plants, animals, dinosaurs, inventions, chemistry, physics, and more. So I've highlighted that sentence that I could use in an essay that I'm writing or notes that I'm making or study cards that I'm creating. There are more options available to you for sharing web pages and documents using downloaded apps, but these are a few of the built-in and easy options a student or teacher can use to provide access to web pages for reading or research. We hope you enjoyed this quick tip on Reader View Mode built into the Safari browser. If you have any additional questions, please contact the Kansas School for the Blind Field Services Department or your regional field service specialist.